Hey everyone, we're back again. We're going to focus on custom transitions in this one. You know, I really like to utilize these because it sets my edits apart from the rest. I'm not just dragging and dropping stuff that's already provided in Resolve. I'm making my own transitions. So it puts up my production value a little bit more, and makes my clients happy, my general manager happy, my project managers happy, anyone that's involved in the projects I'm using or utilizing here. So let's jump on in and let's take a look at what we're going to build.
We're going to build a custom transition, and this is what it's going to look like. And here, and there we go. And we're back. Part 2 of this series. So that first little part is very important, just creating your timeline templates. That saves a lot of time. The second part here is creating custom transitions. This makes it so you can have a lot of unique transitions that aren't just canned, like the canned transitions that are in Resolve here. Like here, let me take this off. We just have all these canned effects here. Those are cool and they have their place. To me, I'm not necessarily a big fan of most of them. So I go through and create my own custom transitions and then create them so I can just reuse them. Utilizing the keyframe stretcher, and then there's also the animation curves modifier that you can use.
Support me today by listening to my music via the links below.
What I usually start off with is the cross dissolve. Let's leave it at 30 or 23, whatever, 20 is fine. We are going to convert that to Fusion cross dissolve and then open that in Fusion. And that just creates, our Fusion. Pretty easy. Come on in here. You can delete that out. We're going to determine which is which. Okay, so this is my incoming footage. This is my outgoing footage. The first thing we're going to do is bring a transform node on in here. I'm going to rename that by pressing F2. I'm going to name this Mux. What a Mux node is it allows you to make multiple outputs out of one node into multiple other nodes. Translates over from Flame, where I spent the past couple of years in that system. So I really liked that node, and I'm just going to kind of fake it over here. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is create a box. Here's our box. That's fine. We're going to plug in, we're going to do our box going into a transform node, but I want that to actually be into the input, not the mat. So I'm manipulating the alpha of that rectangle via this transform. Then we're going to plug in another transform node utilizing the alpha of this one and plugging our mux into that, plugging this into there to merge it on over. There we go. And plugging that into there. So now we have the incoming merged over the outgoing. And the outgoing is just sitting there. That's all it is. This is just sitting there. Okay, so click on your transform node. Let's create this animation. So we'll put in a point, make it 0. Then at the very end, we'll make it full. Make it all the way. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to hold down Control, just kind of go more fine tune. Looks like 2.0 is going to be perfect for that. And there we go. So we're going to select that, Command F, and that frames that on in for us. Let's kind of get the Beziers kind of working on this. Press T, and let's just kind of ramp that on up to, like 70 or so. Let's bring this down to about 20, and there we go. And we can see our animation. That works out nice. That's a nice animation. That's going to be our first series of nodes. Now, let's do 2 other layers to this. Let's go ahead and copy this, duplicate it. We're going to leave that plugged in. We're going to plug in our mux into this now. So now we can actually see that. And then we're going to merge this on over. Okay, so let's bring in a color corrector. Let's press 1 on that so we can kind of see what it's doing. Let's bring up the saturation, bring down the gain. We're not seeing this over here because this one is on top of this one, but we'll see it in just a moment. So we're just going to use this for that. Bring down the gain. How about the gamma? Yeah, the brightness. See how it's kind of affecting the whole thing? Let's fix that real quick. That just kind of bugs me. Turn on the pre-divide. Okay, so let's click on this and we're going to go on into our Beziers and notice how we made our ease in and ease out those numbers. Let's just increase this one to about 85 and increase this to about 30, something like that. So now you can see that edge, that outline of that. Now we've got that. Let's go ahead and copy this, paste it over here. We're going to mux this on in so we can get that. I'm going to plug that on in. Let's go ahead and press 1 to be able to see this one. And now let's just kind of do the reverse. Let's just brighten this up. Let's kind of make it a glowy effect almost. Turn up that contrast, gain that in even more, give it even some more brightness. We're just going to kind of blow it out, make it kind of glowy and stuff. And we're going to add one more effect to this. Let's grab our blur and just plug it into there. Let's blur this on out. So we're still viewing this all the way through its pipeline. Go ahead and blur that up to something like that. That definitely gives us that glow effect. Okay, now once again, let's go on into our curves here and slam this up to 100. And then let's bring this up to about 40 or so. So now we have those staggered and it gives us that kind of an animation. There we go. So there's our transition. Go on out to the timeline. There we are. Contact me via the Facebook link below to become a sponsor and to get our sponsorship pricing tiers. What we should have done is made this a 10-frame animation just because we're utilizing that keyframe stretcher. Since we are using this keyframe stretcher, you want to make the animations as short as you possibly can, because once you make it, you're not able to make that animation any shorter than the original version of it. So let's select this, transform. We want to put the keyframe stretcher after where the animation is. So shift and spacebar and get a keyframe stretcher. There it is, keyframe stretcher. So this thing, we just want it to basically stretch the whole entire thing. So actually its default is going to be just fine. So we're going to copy this, paste it, paste it. If we jump back out to our timeline and make this 30 frames, it goes the whole entire length of that. To make it a preset, for some reason, I might be wrong on this, but I found that it's best to create this or slam this all into a group, not selecting your media ins or your media out, but all your nodes, and just put this into a group. We're going to press F2 and name this. So how about, box trans. Box trans up, whatever. That works. We'll hit OK on that. We can then go to settings and do a save as. Just save this to the desktop. And if we jump back out, then you have that saved. So now what we can do to just kind of make it a little preset over here, right click, create new transition preset, and box trans up. You just hit that. Go on down to our users. Box trans up is in the user. So there it is. And then if you want to make it like your default transition, you just right click, set as standard transition. And then whenever you do like a command T and put in transitions, it would actually utilize that instead of a dissolve or something. You can also just favorite that. So add to favorites is what I've kind of done. Just got a couple favorites over here. And that's kind of a quick and easy way of doing that. Now, reiterating the importance of this. This is one more tool just to make your edits go a little quicker. Is now, you make an edit, you make a cool little fun transition, you can create that into a preset, and then you can utilize that preset for future clients, future projects. That just makes your production value go up higher and your speed increase also. There's a few different steps to getting that speed to increase, and this is just another one. Now for the next part of the series, we'll dive into one more tool for your basket of tricks.